Hey, look, it's Gatsumon. All right. What? Oh, yeah, right. Do the thing.
Alright, so this time on Digimon Ghost Game, this
What?
time on the Anispective cast, fuck, I'm gonna start over. Hey, look, it's Gatsumon.
Hey, look, it's
This,
Gatsumon.
it sure is a Gatsumon. This time on the Anispective cast, we meet all of the Royal Knights, and there's not a single one that's being left out here. Nope, this is all of them. These are the guys we have to fight. They're all here. Everyone is here.
Everyone is here.
Everyone's
So,
here, and there will be no more patches. From what I remember, Leopard Ma's in this show. Aw, sick!
okay, cool.
That was perfect timing. Oh, man.
So yeah, our heroes are just like, Master is just like, we're gonna go to the digital world. And Tomo's like, how are we gonna do that? And it's like, it's right above us. Like we just fly there.
It's called Duftmon, I believe, because Japanese. Yeah, Alright, so real talk, I feel like I've kind of gone back and forth a bit based on the Digimon. I'm just going to using the English language, like, names for these characters, because, yeah, English names for Royal Knights, because of course.
I just kind of call them by whatever sounds better. I think Gallopmon sounds better than Dukemon.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? There's where it's like freaking Kintarismon is like Slepusmon or something. And I'm like, hey, Selpus.
Slapemon.
Slape? Yeah, it's...
Slape.
Slape.
Like Sleipnir. Like Odin's 8-legged steed.
Oh, that makes way more sense. It's like, okay, but I'm just like, I can't. Kintaros is way too ingrained in my mind at this point.
I'm gonna call it Slapemon because it makes more sense.
Well, then this is gonna be extremely confusing for people at home, I guess.
I guess.
Oh man, this Japanese dude is better. Oh, really? You too? Alright.
I mean, it's what he's based on.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, he's like a horseman. It's like a Kintaros.
But even it's not a thing.
It's like a Tauros, but it's like Kintaros.
It's like they wanted to call it Centaurmon, but Centaurmon exists.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it doesn't make sense because that's not what Slapemon is supposed to be.
No, shut up. My childhood.
Your childhood is dumb.
I say that, but I think the first time I saw Kintarismon was in, like, Digimon World Next Order, like, 2 or 3 years ago.
First time I saw it was in Cyber Sleuth.
Oh, man. Jeez, I can't believe I got that form by accident, and my first thought was just like, this one's kinda lame. And it just warmed up on me super hard.
Ironic, considering its abilities.
Very ironic. Man, listen, it's like the old saying goes, if you don't go in the butt, you won't get the Tiger Club.
So yeah, when he said that, I stopped for a second. It's like, oh, like to go back and read it. It's like, what? And then it's a gag moment because even they stop for a second, and then like Yoshino corrects him.
I thought I said when I first watched this because I was really just tired and sleep deprived. I thought I said like if you don't go in the buff, you won't get the Tiger Cub. And I was like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
And this just makes it even weirder.
Yeah, no, it pops up a thing and it's like, okay, Masaru meant to say this, which essentially just means nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah, if you don't go in the den, you don't get the Tiger Cub.
Yeah. And it's like it is kind of funny because like they're huddled over like this, and then it cuts to outside of their huddle for a second, and like all the noise drops out, and it zooms back in on this shot, and Yoshino is just like, I think you meant this.
Yeah. For some trivia, Alphon does show up in the lap in the opening. However, I guess either they weren't fully around yet or not have time to put them in. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I thought I saw them in the opening. Because I know at some point I was like trying to count them, and it's like, okay, we're missing like Jessmon and Examon, and I think like Genkumon. But other than that, it's like mostly everyone.
Yeah.
It's like it's a pretty complete lineup, all things considered. Can also say,
So, yeah.
despite how serious this episode was very comedic. Yeah, this had some weirdly good gags.
Yeah, I enjoyed the return of Gatsumon. Speaking of which, the episode starts with them literally falling out of the sky into the digital world and landing on Gatsumon.
Right, that's something I wanted to point out, because they start off, and it's like, literally, they're not like in the digital world for 5 seconds before Yoshino screams horribly and is in trouble.
Yeah, although to be fair, everybody else also falls off their Digimon and falls with her.
Yeah, but as soon as that happened, I'm like, wait, hang on, how long have they been here? How long from triumphant music to Yoshino in danger?
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. I think Toma's just like, you need to hang on and be safe or whatever, and then Yoshino falls off, and my immediate thought was, you had one job.
You had one job, Yoshino.
Now, to be fair, she has the smallest partner, so I guess it makes sense that she fell first.
Oh, man.
Like, Rosemon just isn't as physically strong as the others. I don't know.
Let's be real,
but yeah.
Yoshino's just the weak link in the team at this point.
Yeah.
Combat she can hold
yes.
her own, but it's like, yeah, as far as the main group goes, she's been shown to be kind of the weakest of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's on Rosemon. I'd put on both of them. Like, you're her tamer, you can do better.
Yeah, there's like a whole partner bond thing going on here. So if one is weak, you're kind of both weak.
Yeah, it's your Digimon and the tamer are just, there's kind of like, yeah, you just share that. Why not?
But yeah, they fall out of the sky and land on Gatsumon and pull him up, and it's like, oh crap, it's Gatsumon, and Gatsumon's like, hey guys, nice to meet you, and it's like, oh right, he died.
She was Sunflowermon, so that tracks, yeah. Yeah, they run to Gatsumon, and he's like, oh yeah, hey, I know that Bancho Leomon could die any second now and the world is in danger, but like, hey, why are you stuck in the ground? And he's like, oh, well, I saw this thing, and you see, like, Shine Greymon land on him.
He's like, yep, and that's what happened. And he doesn't realize that it was them, because Shine Greymon has reverted to Agumon at this point.
I don't know why. I was expecting there would be like a whole story about how it's like, oh yeah, there's all this chaos from the worlds merging, or like there's some evil bad Digimon going around doing this or something. And it's like, oh nope, you fell from the sky and you just knocked me into the ground.
Gatsumon decided to go to the beach for at that exact moment for some reason.
He just got really effing unlucky. But hey, at least he manages to lead them to the world tree, which actually does exist here for real.
Although I'm kind of, I don't know, I kind of have a little bit of an issue with this, where it's like Suguru is just like, all right, where do I find Yggdrasil? And Mercuryumon just like, you'll have to go on a long quest to hunt him down or whatever. It's like, it's up to you whether you find him or not. And then they run into Gatsumon and it's like, yeah, I know where he lives.
Yeah, I think there is some exclamation where don't they say something like, oh, it only appears in times of crisis or some crap?
I would assume the tree is always there.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I remember them saying something like, oh yeah, Yggdrasil only emerges in times of crisis. And I'm like, okay, so maybe the tree just appeared and that's why Gatsumon knows. Yeah. Yeah, it's just here, I guess. Alright, yeah.
I think it means like Yggdrasil itself appears if there's trouble. The world tree is like its own entity, and I fully believe it's always there.
Okay, so Yggdrasil might not have even been in the tree back then, is what we're getting at.
Yeah, it's just like, the tree's always here, but like Yggdrasil only appears when there's danger or whatever.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes enough sense, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, and they were huddled over, like trying to decide if they should trust Gatsumon, despite the fact that they know that he doesn't have any memory of any of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they like go the world tree. It's like, oh yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, don't worry, we got this. It's just here right now.
Yeah, and then they try to approach, and Craniumon appears.
Jeez. This is such like a classic setup. It's so good though. It's like, oh yeah, new villain appears. Hey, it's the new villain group. Okay, and we go fight them 1-1. And it's like a really genuinely hard uphill battle.
Yeah, Craniumon outclasses all of them just immediately. Like they can't lay a hand on him.
Well, for the most part.
For a moment. And then this bull crap happens. Masaru's just like, all right, we're gonna fight. Craniumon just like, don't come closer again, or I'll cut your heart out. And then Masaru's just like, oh yeah, we'll see about that. And he runs at Craniumon to attack him and gets knocked back. And Masaru gets up with the Digisoul thing, and it's like, his attack was so fast that you can't see it. How did you actually see it somehow? And Masaru's like, nah, I just put my fist where my heart is.
Yeah. We have passed the point where it's like Masaru is just a normal high schooler. Masaru is like superhuman at this point. Just straight up, yeah. I
mean, that isn't even the most ridiculous part of this episode.
Yeah, wait until he punches the spear.
Yeah. So Shine Greymon, like they fight for a little bit. They can't touch Craniumon. Go figure. And the Craniumon goes to stab Shine Greymon to finish him off, and Masaru punches the tip of the spear, inflicting no damage on him. And he stops it. And not only does he stop it, he pushes it back and knocks Craniumon over.
Listen, the strength of a man's soul rages so hot that it overpowers any Mega Levels weaponry. His fist is the only weapon he'll ever need to parry with.
So I know the Digisoul is like a power up or whatever. Like Bancho Leomon literally holds the world up with his, but like, come on.
As goofy as this is, I'm probably gonna surprise everyone by saying I'm actually really fine with this because it's not actually solving any problems. It's like, okay, yeah, you steal your Digimon to take them out. This is just for cool anime bullshit.
Yeah, it's just rule of cool. I'm fine with it. It's ridiculous, but I like it.
Like a Mario Power Up and how it works. Yeah, you take one hit and then you become small, except instead of becoming small, you become stronger.
Yeah, you power up and Masaru activates burst mode for Shine Greymon, and then Shine Greymon wrecks Craniumon.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe it actually is like Mario. Maybe it's like, yeah, like everything that's underneath Mario just like loses because his bomb area is the hitbox. So it's like, yeah, it's just that, but it's just like his fist is the hitbox and there is no hurt box. It's just raw damage.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of glossed over it, but we do see the Geo Greysword again. Not that it matters all that much, but it's just I just wanted to bring it up because I think the previous podcast I was like, there's no reason for the Geo Greysword to exist ever again. I think he uses it twice within these 3 episodes.
It literally exists for the sake of cool sword fights, and you know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh man. So yeah, thoughts on Craniumon so far?
He's all right, although he's kind of a punk because he's the only one to actually get knocked away by anyone so far.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the weird like helmet pigtails. I think those look a bit goofy, but I think he's pretty cool. You know, like his weapons kind of goofy, but he's a cool looking Digimon. You know, I like him.
I wouldn't say he's my favorite Royal Knight. He's probably not even real. He's not. He's probably not even really high up there. But he's all right.
Real talk, the fact that he has a demon spear and has the whole skull thing on him, like the skull aesthetic, does make him cooler to me.
He's all right. But yeah, they knock Craniumon down, and while they're celebrating, a bunch of lights descend from the sky, and it's like, oh, it's all of them. Quote unquote all of them.
Yeah, just actually all of them. These are our villains now. These are the guys we have to defeat.
I think I already knew this, but Gallantmon can turn his spear arm into a regular arm.
Oh yeah. His hands are just like inside the weaponry. He can just like remove them.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like him more than having 2 Vmon mechas in the crew. And honestly,
Magnamon and who?
Magnamon and Ulforce Vidramon.
Oh, right.
Honestly, yeah. Magnamon's weird, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I always felt like Magnamon felt weird. Is he actually a Royal Knight?
Yes, yeah, actually.
That's weird. Yeah, that feels weird. He's like an armor evolution.
Yeah, even though he's in armor form, he's often listed as being a mega, except for when he's not, and he like struggled to beat Chimeramon. But don't think about that.
He was his Digiegg is special. That's what it is, right? Like the Digiegg of Miracles or whatever the heck.
Yeah, Magnamon's just as strong as the plot needs him to be. He's his
fair enough.
Armored form, I guess. Yeah, he's just whatever he wants.
It is weird that there are 2 mega levels of the same Digimon, though, but there are multiple V-Mon, so why not?
Yeah, it's like 2 of the same Digimon. Like, I feel like a lot of these are like protagonists.
I mean, like, the Royal Knights are clearly meant to be like heroic, but they're often cast in like villain roles.
Gallantmon, Magnamon, freaking like Ulforce Vidramon's a heroic Digimon. Omnimon in the background, because holy shit, we are so screwed.
Yeah. Like Gatsumon is like listing all of them, and he has like the biggest reaction to Omnimon being there.
Yeah, because of course.
He's just like, holy crap.
I feel like even among the Royal Knights, it's like, I think Omnimon's never really topped outside of like Alphamon or Uyukin or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Omnimon's special. Omnimon's always been special. He's like the first big Digimon.
The Royal Knights always gave me this weird impression that I never got with the Demon Lords, where it's like most of the group is just sort of cobbled together with existing characters. And they just kind of like didn't really have much of a theme or a coherent design thing. So they're like, let's just, just make some cool Knight Digimon. We'll figure it out. And someone submitted like a freaking dragon, and they just glared at them, and they're like, fine, we'll make it work.
Yeah, here's Dynasmon.
I was more referring to Examon, but yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you meant like, oh yeah, here's a dragon. It's like, we'll make it night themed. A dragon themed knight.
It's all these knights, and one of them is just a straight up unarmored dragon. That's thing is he's just a huge red dragon with a gun lance, and they're like, sure, that's a knight, I guess.
Yeah. And yeah, I would also like to see the Royal Knights in their entirety be shown as the good guys more often.
Yeah, I had the adventure where it's like, a villain shows up to do a thing, and the heroes manage to like call on the Royal Knights, and you see all of them show up and immediately just wreck the fuck out of them.
It'd be cool. Like, I don't want to see that all the time, but it'd be cool to see it once.
Yeah,
it's like do like a Chekhov's gun thing where the heroes make friends with the Royal Knights early on, and it's like, how are we gonna beat this guy? And then the Royal Knights all show up and just wreck the bad guy.
How the crap are we going to ever defeat freaking I don't know, like, Creepymon? How are we ever going to defeat Creepymon? And it's like the Roll Knights all appear as like a unit and they all get their chance to do one cool attack on him before Omnimon finishes him off.
They just do Knights of the Round.
Yeah, pretty much. They just Knights of the Round Creepymon to death.
It'd also be cool if they didn't want to write it to be a complete stomp. It's just like the bad guy has a bunch of minions and it's like, hey, there's conveniently 13 of them.
Yeah, you have like all the 7 demon lords there. It's like, yo, the Roll Knights all have to like, pick their battles to each beat one of them. And it's like, it's like 2 knights to a demon lord or some crap for the most part. And the last one's just loose him on Satan mode and Omnimon has to go for him.
Gallantmon has to 1v1 Beelzemon. It's only right.
You know what? Yeah, that's only right. It's like, you get to the freaking, like, Omnimon versus Lucemon, and they're, like, evenly matched enough that the heroes have to help out and fight the core.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
This is a cool Digimon plot that's never going to happen.
This is Digimon fan fiction that will never exist unless...
I ain't writing it.
Listen, I'm already in the middle of writing something. I just throw this in whenever.
The closest thing I could do is learn RPG Maker and maybe get some Digimon sprites. I think that would be cool, but...
Oh, man. I feel like I tried to do that at some point, and it's like, okay, cool, which do I go for? And I tried to, like, look up the freaking Dusk and Dawn sprites, and they're all just facing the camera, and they don't look around the map at all, because they're just facing the viewer, and I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah, I guess you might have to, like, I don't know, pull from the Wonder Swan or something.
I just wonder how the Fusion Roll Knights happen. Like, what caused Slayer Dramon plus Blaring Dramon to happen? I don't know, good question. I guess at some point they're just sort of like, like they just sort of like, just were a team and they just did a bunch of heroic deeds and Yggdrasil was like, hey, wanna be a Roll Knight? Let's merge you together because you're a good team or something.
Imagine,
I can see it, yeah.
I'm now imagining War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. And like Metal Garurumon is like standing on his hind legs and they do the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance.
It's like, listen, you have your friend War Greymon, right? And you have your Metal Garurumon, and you draw like this really elaborate like magic circle. Let's call it an alchemical circle. Omni. Oh man.
Cat.
Waiting for a next store game. Want to see Olympus 12 Digimon done justice. Heck yeah. I'll see Coronamon show up and just redeem his name after it's been, like, slandered for the past few years.
Coronamon's the Digimon Dawn mascot,
he's the
right?
little lawn guy.
It's so weird that he didn't get into Cyber Sleuth, considering Lunamon and its evolutions did.
Yeah, because Coronamon's the cooler of the two, just straight off. Like, Apollomon is rad. Turns into a freaking, like, armored lion man with, like, a freaking sun behind him. He's the coolest. Just got, like, flaming fists.
Is Breakdramon the... No, that's not the one.
Breakdramon is a giant excavator.
Oh, okay, it is the one I thought.
He is a big pile of heavy industrial, like, construction machinery given form.
Yeah, Breakdramon's weird.
Yeah, I don't get Breakdramon. I don't get why he's a thing. Like, it feels like he should be, like, an ultimate or something, you know? Like, the fact that he's Mega feels so odd.
I think he's got some kind of crazy description in Cyber Sleuth, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Breakdramon concept is so funny, though. It's just such a human design. It's basically a thing. Yeah. And
I
you look
also
at Digimon, and he's just this cool dragon knight with like this like chain whip sword. And you're like, oh yeah, that's sick. And you're just shackled to this R thing forever, though, I guess.
what? um.
Jeez.
Also, does Groundramon Green turn into Breakdramon?
Yes. Yeah, and they
Okay.
both like Groundramon, Wingdramon evolved from Coredramon. Which
Okay.
I believe
Yeah,
can be like green or blue.
I like the green Groundramon that's like it's so weird. It's like instead of evolving wings, it evolved extra hands to beat you to death with.
Yes. Yeah, because he's gotta be the ground one. He's the heavy attacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kind of like it because like he doesn't have enough limbs to kill you with. He needs to evolve more.
I honestly do like their whole gimmick in the card game. Because the whole thing is that it's like all the Wingdramon and like blue Coredramon forms have like an ability called Evade, which makes it so it's like if you're gonna be destroyed by an effect, you can suspend the Digimon to stop it from happening. So it's like you dodge the move. And all of the Breakdramon like line Digimon, the green ones, have like the freaking blocker ability, which lets you suspend so that you can like, like stop an attack and just kill them. So it's like you fuse them into Examon, so he has both of those, and his big gimmick is that when he suspends, he can unsuspend once and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon by force. So it's your opponent's turn, and they're like, oh, I have to either have two removal things to, like, trigger his destruction thing twice, and enough memory to actually use both of them, or I just have to, like, attack, and he'll just blocker me and wreck me with his, like, stupidly high, like, dragon attack power. It's like, well, crap, I guess I just lose then. And you have the one card that bounces something to the hand, and it's like, okay, well, avoid this, and it just works. It's such a goofy hard counter.
Yeah, we should probably talk about the episode.
But yeah, Masaru's dad is Yggdrasil. Did we mention that yet? Yeah, it's Masaru's dad. He's the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, you're just still possessing his body. Like,
yes. But everyone's going to treat it like it's literally just his dad.
Yeah, Masaru's just like, what happened to you, Dad? Why did you change? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're so dumb.
I could like excuse Masaru, but it's like you and his mom and like his family and everything, and like Thomas seem to think it's his dad, and it's like, wait, really? No one thinks this is odd? Alright. It seems kind of obvious that something's up here.
I do like the bit where like Masaru learns that his dad is quote unquote evil now. And it's like back in the human world, like the picture of their family breaks and like only the glass around his dad breaks.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that's weird. Because from the sounds of things, the picture just spontaneously exploded.
There's a whole groupie thing where it's like, oh, Masaru's dad is Yggdrasil? What? And the picture breaks. And like next episode, they're in the human world, and Masaru's like, I can't believe my dad is Yggdrasil. And you hear another breaking sound, and Chica like breaks like a vase. And it's like, you did it twice. You did the thing twice, though.
Yeah, but the second one was like Chica dropping the plate in shock. The first one is
so
just
goofy.
The first one was the picture exploded at random. It sensed the dramatic story moment. It exploded.
Just like how the pot sensed the dramatic story moment, and it just wiggled itself out of Chica's hand and jumped onto the floor.
Sure.
Listen, just the revelation that Masaru's dad is Yggdrasil just makes things explode. Don't question it.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't mention this, but like when all the Royal Knights showed up and like Shine Greymon is barely able to knock back Craniumon, it's like they all show up and I'm like, okay, how do they survive this? Because like they should be dead. This should be death for them.
Yeah, I don't think you win this one. And the answer is, yeah, they don't win this one. They have to escape.
Yeah, Slapemon flies out of nowhere and rescues them before they attack.
Oh, man. I feel like this
Yeah.
raises so many questions. This raises so many fucking questions.
Does it?
Because here's the thing. Slavemon was like the emissary that, went to the human world. Like, they took on the rookie form to become the partner for, like, the commander. What's his face?
Yeah, spoilers. I didn't actually know. I didn't actually know this, but Slapemon is the mega of Kudamon.
Yeah, which explains why their evolution line is like, it's just super hard, like, oh yeah, it turns into Slatemon.
Yeah, but it definitely made me think back, and it's like I think at some point I mentioned it's like even as a rookie and alone, Kudamon still commands the respect of everybody. It's like, oh, no wonder Kudamon is a royal knight.
Yeah. Why didn't he just defeat the Bow Digimon people? Why didn't they just go Mega?
Good question. Why? Yeah, what to create the suspense of like, oh, the commander's dead, despite the fact that I never believed it for a second.
Because I was thinking, it's like, okay, of course he's gonna turn to this, but it's like, man, it's something he unlocks later on, but it's like, this seems like it's something they just had, so why didn't he just, like, take care of the problem, like, right then and there?
Yeah, the implication is that Kudamon could have become Slapemon at any moment because he was already a royal knight.
Is it just because we have to leave them to, like, the heroes, but, like, Digimon died? Like, a lot of people got screwed up because those Bow Digimon were running around.
Yeah, a royal knight helping the protagonist would have helped a lot, especially one that can like fly through the air and is big enough to carry people.
Yeah, I think that's my or if he lost his memories or something. Yeah, like, literally, like, there needed to be some justification of, like, oh, yeah, I'm, like, not allowed to assume my full power unless it's an emergency or something. Or, something like, oh, turning into a royal knight will, like, invoke the ire of Yggdrasil if I do it haphazardly. Something like that, where it's like, okay, you went as far as you could, but you couldn't, like, bring out your full power for like some reason, or like maybe this Kudamon wasn't originally a roll knight and he just has the data turn into one, and it's like okay, well he still needed to unlock my mega form on his own or something, like maybe some line where it's like the captain still had to awaken it with his own Digisoul, right? Something to be like, all right, yeah, this is something he like earned off screen basically.
Maybe it's an honor thing. It's like the bio Digimon weren't megas, and so the Kudamon didn't go mega himself to keep it quote unquote fair.
Maybe, but that seems like it'd be pretty goofy,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only thing that makes sense, is that for some reason he just chose not to, and it was like, all right, sure. I guess they're just gonna like get away with everything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's if it happened, then we wouldn't have a story. That's why.
Yeah, pretty much.
Someone as strong as like, because we see how strong the Royal Knights are. They're untouchable by like a group of megas. So Kentarosmon, screw it, I'll call it Kentarosmon, whatever. I'll use the names interchangeably, I guess.
Kentarosmon will wipe the floor with them immediately.
Yeah, Karada like would have been all annihilated before he got a chance to do anything.
Yeah. Maybe, what will fix this if there is some line where, like, maybe the, like, what's the rookie form? Freaking, the rookie form of Kintarismon. Kudamon, yeah.
Kudamon, yeah.
Yeah, well, fix this is if Kuamon's like, they're getting ready to do the fight, and Kuamon's like, we can't destroy them or their Digi-Eggs will be, like, lost between worlds. And it's like, okay, yeah, there's your reason. That'll explain exactly why he's been holding back this entire time. Because it's like, okay, well, yeah, we could kill them, but if we do that, then the Digimon are gonna be lost. And they're like, okay, well, yeah, we have to, like, go ultimate then. We can't go all out.
Okay, but it still seems grossly negligent that the commander, knowing Kurata was evil, didn't deal with him.
Oh, yeah, there's probably some point where I could have, like, done something with this.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that makes me think back, and it's like, okay, well, hang on. Did he have a chance to do anything? I think he might have.
I'm pretty sure the commander knew that Kurata was evil before he escaped.
Couldn't the commander have gone to the digital world and, like, pretty immediately found his way to Mercurymon to meet with him the first go without any trouble?
Yeah. And Mercurymon, seeing a royal knight, would have been like, I better listen.
Yeah. Would have been like, oh, it's one of, like, Yggdrasil's personal royal guard. Okay, alright, let's hear this human out. And then, the commander will have been like, hey, we're not, like, sending people here to attack you. We just want to know why you're sending Digimon to the human world and to, like, work out a peace treaty. And, he'd be like, oh, well, Kurata attacked us. And the commander would be like, okay, well, we'll detain him and deal with that problem then, I guess.
Yeah. It's just such a problem where it's just like, oh, one of the main characters on the good side had something so powerful in his back pocket and he just didn't use it.
What's that, Mercurymon? You're telling me, a high-ranking officer, that Kurata was responsible for, like, multiple grievous war crimes? Alright, I'll go back and discipline him then.
You mean we could have just ridden the Eagles to Mount Doom to destroy the ring?
Actually, turns out, not really.
I don't know. I know there's like various explanations or whatever. It's like the Eagles were busy or something. I don't know, but it's like...
Yeah, the big tour that's like, oh, the Eagles are like neutral and they're like not involved in the conflict or whatever. But also it's like the bad guys have like flying war dragons. So, good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh, there's a... This is out of nowhere, but it's just like the Eagles are pacifists, I guess. And it's like, there's a line from Dragon Ball Z Abridged that I like, where like Gohan just like, I don't like fighting, I'm a pacifist. And then Cell says something like, so you're a coward, patting himself on the back, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good line. I just don't remember it specifically.
Oh man. Yeah, that sounds about right. They forgot, I guess. As didn't through looked up what their first appearance was, and both Kuamon and his Mega count since the V-Pad. Oh, okay, yeah. So this will have been something they will have been able to plan out. Yeah.
I don't know. We just have to chalk it up to if they just used Slapemon to just deal with all the problems, there wouldn't be a plot. It's just, I wish there was a better explanation for why he couldn't have helped.
I feel like there's another one of these that I only like recently heard about, which is like, oh yeah, why didn't Anakin just stop being a Jedi to save Padme or whatever? Or not to save Padme, it's like, why did he just stop being a Jedi as soon as he fell for Padme? Because the whole conflict is that Jedi aren't allowed to, like, love people. So the fact that Anakin falls for a woman means he has to keep it secret and they can't be together, and it leads him to the dark side.
That's stupid.
It really is. It's really dumb and really forced. And
Jedis
he has a weird vision where
she
like dies in childbirth, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I have to like learn the dark side to save her from death." Then
I mostly just meant like the idea is like, oh, you can't love like good guy. You're not allowed to love anybody. It is like, what?
Yeah, because they're a weird, creepy religious order of like monks or whatever the crap.
Okay, I understand. I kind of understand now. It's like if that's the kind of stuff going on, it's like, oh, no wonder people don't like the Jedi, despite the fact that they're the good guys.
Yeah, they're meant to be like celibate, like monks that all like just, just put their emotions aside and they all just focus on their spiritual journey or whatever, which is why every story they try to focus on someone who's like either a rookie or specifically not a Jedi, because by their nature, Jedi are like really boring to write for, because they're all
Sounds
just
like
they're all just pacifist paragon good guys who just are like emotionless and calm in all situations.
Yeah, I think I heard something like Jedi aren't supposed to kill for revenge or like possibly even kill at all. And it's like,
yeah, they're all basically monks, yeah. So there's a post that was like, oh yeah, Anakin, why don't you stop being a Jedi? And, Padme's like, yeah, you don't really care that much about it. They'll let you keep your lightsaber. You can just leave the order, retire. Obi-Wan will still be friends with you. And then, yeah, you can just, like, let me make the money and hang out with your hot senator wife all day. And Anakin just stares at the screen and it just cuts to credits.
Star Wars is dumb.
Man, it's like you think about it for a second. It's like, well, at this point, there's like a war going on, and they're like, fine people. And it's like, there's like a bit more to it that kind of complicates this a bit.
I don't know, just fly off to some distant planet that the Empire doesn't give a crap about and just live out the rest of your life.
I think the point is more that it's like, but like, would Anakin really just leave a war that he could help fight and like, help people in?
I mean, he turns evil, so sure, why not?
Yeah, he could, but would he at that point? No. He's gotta go off and like train Ahsoka so that he can have like goofy, like, well, not goofy, so he can have like serious grounded war adventures as Ahsoka's off to the side just making like the most like out of nowhere like goofiest like kids show quips ever.
Freaking, he is like, okay, he can't abandon the war. He will go kill a bunch of children, though.
Oh, yeah. He'll kill a bunch of children that I don't believe Palpatine ever actively told him to kill. He just does it. I love the little meme where Palpatine's like, oh, hey, Anakin, ask Thav something. Yeah, don't hurt the children. We can actually indoctrinate them into our ideology. And he's like, wait, you did what? Oh man, so I do like the one doing Fallen Order. He has a decent character arc. Yeah, and look through Digimon Whippy. Leopardmon X is better than like Leopardmon. Yeah, he made sure no one would be he made sure there would be no more. Yeah. God, I think there are some cool things that came from that, if nothing else. Like, there's a whole plot line in the new Obi-Wan show where it's like, oh yeah, one of the kids that, like, Anakin was supposed to kill managed to get away.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's like something like 30 years in the future or some crap, or however long it is. I forget the exact timeline, like 10 years in the future or whatever. She's like grown up and become one of his like subordinates, specifically so that one day she can like get Darth Vader alone and fucking kill him.
Sick.
And they have like a really cool lightsaber fight where she is completely outmatched and Darth Vader's doing like, the martial arts thing where he barely even has to like move to dodge her attacks and he's just casually like parrying her around and stuff. Like he just doesn't give a crap because he's so above her.
She probably should have just tried to use a regular like knife and just stab him in the back or something.
No, but she is the cool double-bladed lightsaber where there's a guard with a ring around it, and you like hit a button and the ring like spins so that the lightsabers like spin around like a big fan and slice things up.
Okay, but what if you just snuck up on him and stabbed him in the back and got your revenge?
Like she's literally swinging at him and he's doing like, you know, like little like martial arts, like, you know, ducks out of the way. Like he's just sort of like juking her, you know?
Yeah, what I'm saying is catch him off guard, like while he's walking, like you, like somehow get to a position where you're his personal guard, you're walking with him or whatever. You just carry a knife on you, just stab him in the back when he's not suspecting it.
I'm going real. I don't think that works because the Jedi are like psychic wizards. He can probably like sense the danger, I imagine.
So surely she had like killing intent the whole time. How did he not notice her? But like,
I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty
point,
sure he knew completely and he just didn't care.
All right.
I think he just like knew all along because she tries to betray him and he's just like, oh, all right, and he just deals with her like it's nothing and just moves on without a second thought. Oh god, that's something I should talk about later on when I actually get further into it. I started watching the Star Wars Clone Wars CG cartoon, which is like the big one that was like a bajillion episodes and went on forever. And yeah, holy crap, Ahsoka is the worst. I can't wait for her to somehow get better. Like they're literally going on adventures and she's got all the spunky like relatable lines where it's like, oh, yo, people really like that show. Yeah, she's like, oh no, that giant monster's after us, we're gonna be his dinner in a minute. And Anakin's like, shut up, Ahsoka.
Well, that just happened.
Up. Yeah. Like she's literally trying to sell him on like a new R2 unit after they lose R2 and she's like, he's better than R2 and yo, he'll like think faster and be more effective too. What do you say? And Anakin's just shooting her like the death glare.
I was gonna say it's a robot, but there's like a sci-fi universe where like R2-D2 clearly has like a personality and everything. So
yeah, there's a whole there's a whole thing where they lose R2-D2, and yo, Anakin's like, oh yeah, I never wiped R2-D2's memory, so he just knows all our base locations and plans and stuff. We really need to get him back now.
Oh no.
And they're like, yeah, this is a problem. And it's like they track your replacement robot, and very immediately becomes clear that the replacement robot is like literally a traitor droid working for the bad guys.
What are the odds?
Like R3 is just like a black R2-D2, and it literally just opens up a little thing and brings up a little like hologram like, you know, communication thing, and just starts talking directly to General Grievous and beeps and whistles.
Sick.
We have to just have the big fight where R2-D2 defeats the evil R2 unit.
Man, I watched a video on from Overly Sarcastic Productions. Basically it was a trope talk about like phones in like fantasy settings and like current media and everything.
One. Yeah,
and she's just like, and it's like, oh yeah, with all this hyper advanced technology, why was like this information dependent on carrying a droid across like space for like millions of miles? It's like, why couldn't they just call the person? As it's like, huh.
So honestly, there actually might be a reason, because if they beam the plans out, maybe someone could intercept them, right?
It was like a secret resistance thing, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. Shouldn't they know how to like encode their messages? Or I don't know.
They might be able to. I don't know, but hey, it might be an explanation.
It's better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
These uploads are a mess. Or they're going to be.
Man. This is gonna be the most like unbalanced podcast ever. Do we have anything else to say about this episode of Digimon now? We've read about Star Wars for 30 minutes.
No, not really. Slapemon flies in, saves everybody, and flies off. And Gallantmon fires a beam. Yeah, and it's like, oh, did that get him? He's like, no, that won't kill him.
Listen, if we wanted a podcast that wasn't a mess, then I feel like we probably would have got there by now. Like, until we get to a point where we have, like, a lot of, like, regular viewers, this is mostly just for us at this point, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah, I just hope people actually, like, those who actually do watch these, I hope they just enjoy listening to us talk about bullcrap.
Oh yeah, I should probably mention, yeah, I put out the RWBY one. Yeah, apparently people, like, hated that because it was, like, a 50% dislike rating. And I've, like, because there are 0 comments, I have no idea if it's because people hated being, like, you know, suckered in with the thumbnail and they got a podcast, or if they, like, opened up the video and they saw Digimon stuff and thought it was, like, pure clickbait, or if it's because they hate my opinion. Maybe it's all 3, I don't know.
Hey, RWBY fans, I hate your show. I hate it a lot. I think it's stupid.
It's not a good show. It really isn't. RWBY fanbase hate negative critics. Alright, well, too bad. I'm gonna keep dunking on it.
Hey, if you have something to say, then hey, leave a comment. Dislike the video, leave a comment.
I don't think Bumblebee was well done. Send me your hate comments below. Guy, I saw some clip where it's like someone was like, hey, why is everyone clearly ignoring that RWBY's super depressed for no reason? There's like a clip from the show where RWBY's clearly super depressed and she's like, oh yeah, I guess I messed up, sorry. And it just cuts to everyone else just like shrunk down to tiny size in like a teapot, and they're like, oh hey, look, there's cheese down here. It's like, what? Like, they just don't give a crap. Holy crap.
They ignore her depression. They ignore her depression so hard that she kills herself.
Oh god. Damn it. That show has the worst tonal whiplash. Holy shit.
What time is it? Oh no.
That first time I was like, oh, is it time to shit on RWBY? Okay, it's RWBY o'clock hour.
Nah, I was referencing the thing where the guy's just like, oh no, what time is it? Like the dam breaks and like a bunch of people died. He's like, no.
I'm not cutting this out. Live with the spoilers.
Whatever. Everyone who cares has seen it already.
If you're a RWBY fan and this makes you mad, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna stop talking crap about it.
RWBY kills herself, then reincarnates as herself instead of doing something interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyways,
if you want to hear more about that, check out the entire video, which is called something like man who missed 4 volumes of RWBY goes insane over volume 5 finale or something. No, volume 9 finale, yeah.
Yeah, assuming you got here without watching that already.
If you somehow got here without watching that and you're a RWBY fan, that's an incredible journey. RWBY's what we call a zombie show. It's only alive because only the few 1,000 fans buy all the merch and get easy money from collabs. Man, RWBY and The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah, they did RWBY like collabed with freaking like Smite or something.
Right.
Or was Or was it Paladins? It might have been, or both. It might have been both.
Oh, I thought you were talking about them collabing with freaking, like, the Justice League.
Oh, that's stupid too. I posted that clip, but that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I don't even know if that's out or what. As there's like a preview thing of Volume 9, and there's that clip where it's like freaking Batman is just really, really sad, and he's like, oh, but in this world I have powers. Can I really go back home and lose all of these? Oh man, I can't live with it. And it's like, this is the most un-Batman shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, Batman don't give a crap about any of that.
Yeah,
I
he'll
I would
beat you
bait
up
people-
without powers.
Yeah, I'd bait people into like angry comments with like, "Hey, DC, the stupid thing with RWBY sucks," but I think they'd agree with me.
Is there anything else we want to say before we end this episode off that will also make people mad?
Nah, I'm good.
Trans rights or human rights. There we go. Yeah.